person, a well-known person told me, 19 साल का बच्चा क्या finance सिखाएगा? I have hired teachers from NITN. So a NITN gets a salary from me with 8 years experience in trading and algo trading also used to teach my students. So I was managing a company now, and after 3 to 4 months there was a coincidence that the same guy wanted to invest in my startup. But we were not raising funds at time.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I have with me a very special guest. Now, this person, you might have seen him in Instagram, you might have seen him on YouTube. His name is Shashwat. He runs a parent company called Amrev X. And he runs two verticals, one of which teaches people how to invest in the stock market, and the other one is about ethical hacking. And today we are going to get to know this individual who's just 20 years old and made close to 4 crores in revenue, and let us get to know his story, his journey, and how he makes money in an easy way. So without further ado, welcome Shashwat to the Lalith Dhanush Show.
By the way, I'm 19.
19, okay. I'll stand corrected.
Okay, so yeah, Shashwat this side. Starting off my journey, I'm from a very small town. So small town, by the way, I mean 10,000 people live in the village.
Okay.
You don't have any connection to internet. You just have water, electricity, a roof.
Where did you stay, Shashwat? Which specific part of India, which city, which town?
So I'm from Chhattisgarh.
Okay.
Capital is Raipur. And I'm from the outskirts of Raipur, which is 40 kilometers away from Raipur. It's known as Kharora.
Okay.
It's Kharora. And at that place, it's completely an industrial area, a small industrial area. It has dairies and all. And you'll see, you'll not even get a Red Bull, let's leave Red Bull, you'll not even get an idli dosa. I got internet connection. At that time, I paid 1 Mbps, like 1 Mbps, you know, right, for 6,000 rupees.
Wow.
And it was like too costly, but it was unlimited 1 Mbps.
I have a question, Shashwat, before you go on.
Yeah.
Now, this was happening when you were 15, 16-ish.
Yeah.
Correct. Now, if it was 15, 16, my mom and dad would have taken a massive stick and beaten the hell out of me if I was not studying and doing all of these things. How on earth or how the hell did your parents get convinced to let you spend time on the internet and do all these things?
At that time, I was a very good school kid. I used to get 90s.
Good for you.
How more can you go up? You are getting 93, 95. I was into the top 10, top 20 list of the classroom students of out of 40. So it was going good till 10th class. 10th class I had boards, somewhere it was 85 or 83%. And that's how the major journey started. I was into internet. I got the internet after 4 months of hard work, I still remember. It was very hard. We had to get a pole in my house and get an antenna.
Okay.
To get the internet from 40 kilometers away from the city.
Crazy.
So that's how we got I personally got the internet, and that's how everything started.
Nice.
First, I was into games, as I told you. So I got into games. I started playing games. After getting internet, you're very curious, right? What you can do in this world. This is a big blue world.
Yeah.
You just type in Google. At that time, Yahoo was very famous. Just type in Yahoo, you're getting news, you're getting everything. So I was very curious. I just randomly came across a web page. I didn't even knew what exactly a proper article with key pointers was. So I randomly came across a page that what you can do in social media, what you can do in Google. And I found you can play games and you can stream on YouTube. I found you can do hacking and you can do freelance work. The freelance term I learned from there. You can do freelancing, work for people. At that time in the background, I just started learning more because I didn't know anything. Not even Photoshop, not even Tele, accounting softwares, and Picasa was a software.
How many hours were you spending on the internet, Shashwat?
I just used to wake up, eat my breakfast, sit on the computer. I had internet. From morning 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, I just used to spend till 9 p.m. in the evening, like in the night. Just sitting and digging out. You know, you are very curious to know what's inside. Going deep.
Yeah, the internet is a place that you can explore and you can keep exploring. It's like the infinite world, right? You can't stop it at any point of time. Now, before you dive into what all you explored and how you grew there, didn't your parents get worried because there's spending 10 hours, 12 hours in front of the internet is a big problem.
Yeah, of course, and that's why I am so healthy today. So at that time, when you're sitting at 10 hours in a computer, you're not moving.
Correct.
You just go in a kitchen. It's very far, near to your place. Just go kitchen and get a food and just eat while you're watching a video. So my health just got bad, and I even remember I left gym for some time. I started gymming. I didn't know if you leave gym, your just body grows by 2x more. And it was 10th board exams, and because of board exams, I left the gym to to save some time. And after gym I left, I just started gaming and all after board exams were over, and it was like health is just massively growing up. So yeah, parents do say a lot, but it's okay. When they saw that YouTube was okay, people started sending good messages for me.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, bro, you're growing good. You play good games. You good stream. And I remember that was my first after 1 or 2 months, 300 500 subscribers. I reached 1,000. I got monetized my channel, and I got first salary from YouTube. That was 8,000 rupees.
Wow.
So my first ever income was 8,000. Not that popular thing from social media, Google and all. My first ever income from YouTube was 8,000 rupees. And at the back end, I just got more into the things I can do on internet. So I started trading, crypto, stocks, everything that a possible person who's just sitting on computer can do.
Now I have a question. Trading crypto is somewhere where you can grow your money, but it's also a place where you can burn your money without the right knowledge.
Yeah.
So was there any kind of somebody to guide you or somebody to tell you how to do it?
No one.
Or no one? Then how did you jump into it and did you lose money? What was the story on that?
So for the first time, it was very hard to open a Demat account because under 18 you're not allowed to open a Demat
Correct.
account. And at 2 years ago, there was such a lengthy process to open an account. You verify, what not. So I was like, let's drop this. But I knew what's happening. I was watching videos. How do people buy? How do people sell? Because if I go to my parents and say that, please let me learn stock market, they'll be like, do your JEE first. Do your IIT stuff first. Go for 12th class and after that you do. So parents, it was very hard to convince to just put me into trading. Because I was a scholar, I was aimed to go to IITs, JEE and IIM and all. So that's how everything started. I was into YouTube. I gamed a lot. I played games like 24 hours non-stop. In 1 month, I got my channel into 6 to 7,000 subscribers. I got my 30,000 rupees as a salary. And that's where a full stop to my gaming journey comes. You will remember that China apps were getting banned. PUBG was about to get banned.
Correct.
View rate started decreasing. PUBG was banned. My income source, 90% just came down.
Wow.
And I was like shocked. How to sustain, what to do now. The one that you're saying your parents that this is making you good, making you rich, making your money, and it's just gone.
Okay.
How could I just say that the game is gone?
Makes sense.
And at that time, I even used to do for 24 hours stream, and a lot of good things happened. I collaborated with good creators in internet like Dynamo Gaming, if you know, very good gamer.
Correct.
And then I also had an interest for ethical hacking. Like, how does these things happen?
Correct.
So I was like, let's do some courses on like YouTube and all. And YouTube, I found out EC Council. So like for IIT is known as for engineering. For hacking, EC Council is a well-known institute. EC Council is from like abroad. So I got some diploma courses. Again, it was costly. So the XYZ savings I had, all were gone in the course. The CEH, Certified Ethical Hacker version 10 I did. It is also valid only for 3 years. You just need to do it again and again for every 3 years. So I got into hacking, I learned hacking, I got into forensics, I did that, and I just become Chhattisgarh's youngest certified ethical hacker. That's how the journey started, and again it was a full stop.
Why? What happened?
So one of my good friends, I got hacked for the first time, but second time I made good friends. So he told me, Shashwat, this is not scalable. You cannot grow like this. You cannot make your money. So I told him my dreams, bro. I want to buy a Lamborghini, bro. How do I? So he told Shashwat, it's not possible right now. You need to do illegal things. Okay. And I was like, I come from a very small town. And my dad does not even abuse. I have not heard in 10 years say abey, a normal abusing word like slang people use. He does not do that. He does not drink and all. So I'm like, I do something and he's caught I don't want that.
Makes sense.
He has a very good reputation because he's a shopkeeper and he's like shopkeeper from 30 years. He sells spare parts, so people do come and go and come and go. I don't want that to happen, so I had to drop ethical hacking. My interest started faded away.
Nice. What happened next? What did you get into? Because I know for a fact ethical hacking is why the internet also, you were on it most of the time for gaming, ethical hacking.
So apart from ethical hacking, my JW was going at back. I started with a dummy school, 11th class I joined.
Okay.
Fitzy.
Okay.
Dummy school where from God's grace I got 2 holidays, Sunday and Monday.
Okay.
So Monday also I used to sit in computers. Now I was not studying, I was not preparing.
Okay.
Yeah, I do half an hour. It's okay, tuitions and all. So at that time I started trading crypto. I started knowing what the things actually are, and my sister opened a demat account in Upstocks. That's how I guided her first. She made money and that chalo main bhi kar leta hu. That's how my journey started in trading. After a month or 2 months, I saw people uploading the P&L screenshots, profit and loss. I made this much, I made this much. I was like, okay, I should also upload. I uploaded the screenshots. People started messaging me, the young, older ones like 20, 30.
I have a question here, Shashwat, before you go ahead. Now, you started trading, right? Like, you're doing everyday intraday trading. How did you learn about it? Because
YouTube.
So
YouTube, books and Google.
So because a lot of people who are on YouTube making content about this, one thing that they say is don't do intraday trading, do your own job, then put your money here, right? But for someone, see, I love the stock market and today I've invested a few lakhs there. And I always think, should I actually start doing intraday? Because it's so tempting, right? Like it's so tempting, you know you can do something. So at that young age, like how, apart from gaining this knowledge, did you just throw yourself at it or did you ask your help of your parents or anybody to guide you? What was it like?
So I think I was not into future options at all. I had the savings, whatever I made in the past, I put it in some stocks, and that time after Corona ends, market was just booming.
Correct. Bull
Any
market.
stock you invest in, it was just like going 5%, 10%. I was doubling my money. Like, wow. So I was into long-term, short-term investments. After that, I realized, okay, this is something intraday also, that I lost some money also there, 30, 40K.
You should.
30, 40K I lost. And then I started more practicing. Practice. And after that, there was even a time I wiped out all my capital. I invested 1 lakh, 2 lakh. I took out 30K for daily trading, and daily trading I wiped out everything, zero. But I still had a backup plan कि okay, long term investing से फिर थोड़ा सा ले लेते हैं, sell करके. I did that. And this time I was very sure not to make any mistake, because I even read books, right? So I read like you can do 3 things after the mistakes. After the mistake you can correct it, you can forget about it, or you can just progress yourself. So like this. So I was like, okay, I started writing a journal. I saw YouTube videos why people make losses, how to recover it, how to do. I saw a lot. There was a guy who told, I don't remember the name, start making journal. Whatever trade you take, write it, write the name, write the mistake you did, why you lost, what's happened, so that you can never do the loss again. That's how I started improving myself.
Nice.
And then I stepped in future and options. Future and options was my mind-blowing thing. Invested 2K, 5 minutes later, you have 4K. I was like, what the hell is happening? Is this even real? And that's when I realized, when the losses started happening, I started watching Indian traders and YouTube videos, and people used to say like, future and option killed me. People do suicide because of this. And I was like, okay, let's learn first before going away. So that was one learning and one lifesaver thing that I stopped there itself.
Okay.
I did not do.
Just one quick tidbit for the viewers watching, right? Today, if they want to learn about the stock market, the first thing that I would really suggest to everybody is to join your course. You have a beginner's course where you teach them, and it goes up till a professional level where you're going to handhold them, take care of them, and do all of those things. So yes, that is number one. Number two, let's say there are so many other people apart from you are also experts in the content place. Can you give me 2 or 3 names of somebody who's making really good content about the stock market? If you can just give me a few pages, or if you could give me any, like, let's say, influencer's name who they should be following.
So one from what I learned and from whom I learned was MintFX.
Okay.
He's a smart money concept trader, SMC बोलते हैं हम उसको, and he has really great knowledge.
Okay.
In India, this is not from India. In India, you see PR Sundar is known very good.
Okay.
And then there's a Power of Stocks, if you know. Power of Stocks is a YouTube channel. He also has a very great knowledge. So I started watching them. And it was a bull run, right? After Corona, market was just going up and up and up. So buying and trading was very easy. People made a lot of money, and that time my luck was there. I also made a lot of money. And at the back, I realized कि YouTube तो चले गया था, ethical hacking भी चले गया था, and income source literally got 90% decrease. So I was like कि नहीं, इस बार ऐसा नहीं करना है. Let's start, scaling up. So I learned कि how to make passive income, how to do freelancing. I started doing things up. So I came across this thing, crypto mining, crypto staking. At that time, I had a machine, graphic card that used to play games. I got into mining, so I was making 2,000 rupees a month.
Wow.
That's how I just started scaling up. And I realized that one income source can go down, two can go down, three can go down. But if you have 10 income sources, with each income source paying equivalent thing, so how will you lose your money?
You have to make sure at least 6 out of the 10 are always winning, or
Always
at least
winning.
even 5 that are always winning. Now, Shashwat, like, I want to track this journey from you being a learner and a beginner in the stock market yourself. You also spoke about futures and options, which later you encountered. Now, tell me, what was that one moment where it changed you to start an institute and help other people make money? Because making it by yourself is good, but helping other people do it is great. So what was that one moment that changed it to that?
So I told you, right? People uploaded photos of their
Screenshots,
profits.
yeah.
I was like, okay, I also made this much money. Yeah, it was hard work. I also uploaded. People started messaging me, please teach me. So I was like, okay, let's make a WhatsApp group where I do guide people. So I don't know how to sell and how to do. I didn't know anything. What is a ticket price? Nothing. I just knew पैसा लेना है, सामान है, course देना है. I was like, okay, I'll guide. And people used to really get impressed by me. So I started a WhatsApp group named as Money Matters, and it was like 250 rupees per subscription for 1 month. I used to guide them, and it was just a WhatsApp group, nothing else. And I made 6,000 rupees for the first month.
Wow.
That's how I realized that, okay, this is also a business. Selling courses. I'm ethical hacker. I know a lot of things I have done in computer. Why not to monetize them? And that time I was about to turn 18. Turning 18 was into, like, I was searching Google and I was into startups ecosystem. So coming to startup ecosystem, I was like, I want my own startup, yaar. So I was like, what's the idea? So I had a lot of problems in my ages to learn things up. Even there was a time when my computer used to go break. Like, computer was not working. I used to take it to my nearest center. The guy used to charge me 1,000 rupees just to reformat it, just to give the new operating system. So I was like, okay. And my parents used to say, why you're doing this again and again? So I was like, I need something, a startup idea that helps the people who are in need and they can do it themselves. Or there's someone in a call just to guide them. Because in a call you can even make ice cream in a call, but you don't know anything, you'll just mess it up. So at that time I was like, let's come with a startup idea. Now the thing was what to name it. So that time I was like, people know Singhanias, people know Modis, but people know Agrawals, but people doesn't know, I think so, know Verma. So I was like, my surname is Verma. Let me just twist this. Amrev. It's a unique name now. So I just twisted it. Amrev. And then I was like, let's add some series. So iPhone X was popular at that time. So I was like, X, Amrev X. So the series is X. I started watching SpaceX also. Space and then X, the rockets and all. I like Amrev X. So that's how I started. When I just turned 18, I launched the startup. Amrev X. Got the good logos and everything designed up and everything was going great. 2 months later, I realized that there's a full stop. The reason is helping people need people with the guidance. Now, if someone needs computer knowledge, I need to hire someone who has a very good knowledge. And I need to pay him 30-40K a month. How do I get that money? Like, not just one, na? It's not just about computers, it's a lot of things. So funding was a very big problem. And it was free startup. So how do you make money? So I was like, okay, let's stop this now. I need to rethink my startup idea. So at that time, I came across that, okay, I'll not help people through a company. If someone comes to me, I need this help. I need I had a very big problem in getting internet right. But if someone just came to me कि भाई तू ले ले internet तू कर ले, it would be very easy for me. But I took 4 months just to get a proper internet connection. So I was like, okay, if someone comes to me, I was YouTuber, I was connected to a lot of people. People used to come to me, I need a device. I need a computer so that I can start video editing, and after I start video editing, I can pay you back from the freelancing work. I was like, okay, you edit my videos itself. So then I was like taking 50%, 30% of their total income, they will just go broke.
So you were being an investor and adding
I
not
was
just
being
money
an
but
investor.
also value to each of their journeys. Now, a very big question is popping in my head before we continue with that story. Now, man, two things associated to this question. Number one, people associate a lot of trust factor when it comes to money, right? Nobody's just going to throw their money. And number two, when you are investing, trust comes two ways. Even that person should trust you, even you should trust that person. Now, according to me, I have seen the world in the last 4-5 years of business that people judge you through your age. Dude, you are 19. You still have the word teen with you, right? How on earth do people trust you, man? Like, what is that? Like, if I have to join your course, if a 18-year-old is telling a 30-year-old how to make money, like in a usual world, this is not right. Like, so how did you break this barrier of age and trust and everything?
So I think this is somewhat credibility plays a good role. Someone just connects to you, gets to know you better, what actually you are, what actually you're doing. He'll have trust on you. So in the starting, I was selling 250 rupees ka course. You go a Domino's pizza, you eat 1,000 rupees is gone. People are ready to pay 250. But at that time, I say, pay me 10,000, I'll teach. They're like, no, yaar, 10,000 is a big amount. So that's how I started scaling up. Now people joined me, people gave reviews to me, video reviews, written reviews with Instagram ID. So I was like, see if you want to join me. People just started trusting me, and they were earning money also. So that was how everything started up.
So you are saying at the end of the day, irrespective of age or whatever, if you're giving results, then that builds everything. Like
Everything.
it doesn't matter whether you're
Even
a teen or whatever.
I attended an event where a well-known person told me, 19 साल का बच्चा क्या finance सिखाएगा? I attended this year itself.
Okay.
And इसके पहले ही है, I have hired teachers from NITN. So a NITN gets a salary from me with 8 years experience in trading and algo trading also used to teach my students. So I was managing a company now. The course I was teaching now came across a good company. There was a guy who messaged me, Dipanshu, bro, let's start a page. I got good pages on Instagram. I was like, bro, I'm already selling on my course. He was a marketing guy. He used to handle my promotions and all. So, okay. I was like, ठीक है bro, let's start. So he was like, bro, आप कर लो. I'll help you with marketing. I was like, okay, let's start. So then I started my page. And he was helping me with marketing.
Makes sense.
So the journey started. We started growing a lot. And just 8 months, from hardly 5,000 followers in total, we now have a base of 4 million followers.
Wow.
All across our pages. I saw YouTube में personal hate आता है, लोग आपको गालियाँ लिखते हैं, dislike देते हैं, कितने को block करोगे? So at that time I realized, let's go with the brand pages. Stock market edges, stock market box. Lot of brand pages with just similar names.
So Shashwat, you run an institute where you teach people for stock market trading.
Yes.
How many students have you taught, and can you share a couple of really good success stories where you've changed people's lives?
So we started small, like everybody does. And now we have a place where like 25,000 ethical hacking students are there. And 6,000 stock market students are there, 6,000 plus. I don't exactly remember the number, but yeah, 6,000 plus students are there. If I say about the stories, there's a guy from Mumbai. I came here for award. I won a Economic Times ka Leaders of Change award. He wanted to meet me desperately. I called him in my hotel. He was like, Shashwat, I can learn. I have the money, but I want offline class. I was like, bro, that's not possible. I am from Chhattisgarh. He literally asked me 30 times, bro, can I please come to your place? I was like, bro, there's just a single lodge, not even a hotel. We say it lodge, 300 rupees per bed at a very room. So he was like, okay, I'll have no problem. I will come. He took a train and he came. I even have it all, documented on my Instagram stories. I'll share. At that time, he was not earning anything. And just 4 days ago, I asked. He put a story on his Instagram. He made 60K. So I asked, bro, how's going? How was the last week? How much you made? And he told me 2.5 lakh rupees.
In a week?
In a week.
Wow.
And I can prove it right now with my WhatsApp. I can show you the chats. So coming to a place, there was one more homemaker from Hyderabad, or near to Hyderabad city.
Telangana.
That Telangana. She was not earning a lot, and she had a baby just now, and her baby was 1 year old. She was like, okay, now I want to do something, because when you have a baby and you are just fed up of doing the same things,
Correct.
you want to do something new. She joined the course and she was like, okay. She was not making any money at all. And at the first 3 months, she beared a loss of 20K. But she was like, no, I want to do Shashwat, you help me. I will message you on WhatsApp. If you want money, you take money, but please help me. I was like, okay. Her consistent efforts, making a journal, writing every trade she is taking, writing every entry, why she is buying, why she is selling, why she is exiting, why she is booking the profit, everything made her a profitable trader. And now she is making decent lakh rupees per month consistently from last 3 months.
Wow. Now, I'm sure everybody listening will also be thinking, can I also make this money? Because money is such that today it's the most wanted commodity, right? It's the most wanted freedom. And if you know how to make money, your basic needs, desires are taken care of. So for the audience watching Shashwat, can you give me a few tips that you must follow in order to make this kind of money month on month? Where do I start and how do I get going?
So first of all, anybody comes to me, I just say them, don't buy my course if you're not willing to work hard. Because any job I feel is not very easy. You need to put in your hard work. You need to put in your efforts to grow. People think trading is very easy, आज का पैसा डबल हो जाएगा. But you cannot do it every day यार. कितने दिन तक डबल करोगे आप? 3 दिन 4 दिन, you will have the loss. And that losses go on big when you don't know what is trading psychology. Because people don't do hard work. They don't know what is trading psychology. उनको तो सिर्फ पैसा डबल करना है. And they end up losing good money. Everything is gone. And they end up joining any other course because this course is not working. But it's all about the hard work, I feel. I told about that woman, housemaker, right? She made the journal. She did it for 5 months, consistently writing every trade, making 600, 700 pages ka journal on a text and reading everything every day.
So making a journal is one of it. What are the other steps?
Making a trading journal, if you are a trader, is one of the steps. Following a single strategy.
A single strategy. Can you simplify why following a single strategy, or give me an example of it?
So for example, let's come to a course made for doctors. A general course of MBBS, so that everyone can get a good knowledge of normal doctor course. Then there's a MD for medicines ka master. Then there's MS for masters in surgery. When you come to surgery, there is a field. Orthopedics, that's for fractures and bones.
Correct.
Neuro, that's for brain. Government can do this, like combine everything. But you need to be masters at a certain skill.
Correct.
Same happens in trading. You think that strategy is not working, you flip on the second strategy. You did not give your effort to that strategy. People just flip strategies and after 1 year they realize, no, okay, one strategy is okay. So everything works. You need to stick on it. You need to dig it. You need to tweak it. जितना कर सकते हो कर लो. Follow the journal.
Can you tell me the components of a great strategy? What are the things that comprise a great strategy?
Backtested data.
Okay. What do you mean by this?
Backtested data is something that I made a strategy that this zone, if reflects the price, it I have to buy. I have to backtest it for 4 years. कि पिछले 4 साल में जब भी ये जोन बना है क्या ये जोन काम किया है.
So there is a research and you're trying to see whether this happened before the pattern
Yes,
again
a pattern for 4 years continuously.
Okay.
Then comes a forward test. Forward test, testing in real market, trading in paper, not putting the exact orders in the broker, testing, writing in paper ki हाँ, this zone was reflected today, this zone was, do a forward test. You're confirmed? Start with smaller quantity.
In buying and selling?
Yes.
Okay.
What people do is ना, people directly come with 1 lakh कि हम उसको double करके 2 lakh बना लेंगे, and they just go zero. Just double 10 rupees first, then try to double 10 rupees every month, then try to double 50 rupees every month. Go with the pace, right? There's a chart like you go like this, you'll not fall. But just go like this, there's always a drop coming in. It's physics.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So that's what happens in trading. Efforts are needed. And yes, our course is also there, and we tell our students who join us, if you're willing to put in your hard work, then join us. If you're someone like कि 10 घंटे की videos देख के I'll just learn everything and I'll start making money, don't join us. Because then you will say us कि bro आपने कुछ नहीं सिखाया. And stock market is very deep. It's not just very light topics that people say nowadays. It's very deep. You need to just dig it in.
Nice. So Shashwat, tell me a few lessons you've learnt about money in general, right? What is some of the things that you've learnt about money? Because the first thing that I've realized is, number one, money buys you freedom. And when you have money, you can really, really amp your game up. Especially after going to Mumbai cohort, I've realized that you could hire smarter people. Right now, if you hire somebody who's way smarter than you, you're working on a unified dream. That person has the expertise, and you are just covering that bridge through the money, right? So that's one thing for me, like freedom and getting access to really smart people. I also believe money could be not just transactional, but it could be also relationship based. The more money you have, the kind of friends that you also have are also, their net worths are also high. They are also HNI kind of people. And for that you need money. It's a little materialistic on that. So what are some of the lessons you've learned about money as a teenager?
Passive income source. From that YouTube wala thing that happened to me, I lost all my income source. So passive income source is getting a good income source, like 3 to 4, 5 ways that you're getting money. So agar ek do niche bhi chale jaye, you are still making a good amount of money.
Makes sense. That's one.
Second is having an emergency fund.
Emergency fund.
There was a time I realized that I don't have a bank account balance, a good balance, and I hired 3 people. In the first very start when I started Amrev X, I hired 3 people with a salary of 1.5 lakhs. I need to give it to them every month, from web designers to the writer, content writer. I realized that Shashwat, if you're not making 1.5 lakhs, there's a runway, right? If for example you have 10 lakhs in your bank account and 1 lakh is your liability every month, 10 महीने का आपके पास runway है, that startup says. Runway के end पे आ जाओगे, you'll have nothing but to lay off them. And that time I realized having an emergency fund, not for just yourself, for your hospital needs, but for your staff also, because they are the people, they are giving their 100% efforts and they have faith in you. It's not like the random startups that they just, because of recession is coming, lay off 400 people. While most of the startups are laying off people, we are hiring still. So emergency fund and being profitable. People think they can do change and they can create a lot of value. Yes, you can create. But what is the value if you're burning money?
Makes sense.
What is the value if you're burning someone else's money that you're funded? Okay, create value, no worries at all, but just don't burn. Try the minimizing it. You're giving gift hampers, you're hosting parties on parties, cocktails, beers, whatnot, getting a wine bottle of 1 lakh rupees. It's just cash burning, right? You're just not realizing that you have a runway left.
Correct.
So at that time I realized that yes, funding is Right now very easy for people, pitch deck banaya, they go to investor, dilute their 30-40% in seed fund round, 20%, and they get some money and they just start burning like, yes bro, ab to paisa haath mein hai. But you lost your 40%, right?
Makes sense, makes sense.
So emergency fund, second is passive income, third is compounding. Money makes money, that I learned from stock market. You invested 1 lakh in TTML ka share, Tata Tele Services. It was at 3 rupees 2 years ago. Right now it made a high of 300. That's 10,000% return. It's a Tata ka company. People do believe in Tata ke companies. So compounding and investing. Take risk. You people say buy penny stocks जो 1 का 5 जाएगा. Okay, buy ना. But invest in good penny stocks like Tata. Tata was also available as a penny stock at 3 rupees Tata TTML. But people were investing in what not companies. The people invested in TTML at 3 rupees, now they exited at 280, 250.
That's insane, isn't it? Like, and I really like the fact that compounding works many ways, right? Many ways.
Any way you say.
Yeah.
And fourth is money buys you freedom. So कुछ लोग ये भी बोलते हैं कि पैसे से कुछ नहीं होता. पैसे कमा के क्या करोगे? तो भाई पहले आप कमा लो. पहले आप कमा लो फिर बताना. So like I am taking so many flights every day now. Like it's every month I am going in another city, meeting some new peoples. Meeting some new humans. You're just going another city. How can I ask my parents, please give me a business class ka ticket? Because I'm very tired. I cannot. They are also working very hard. But at the same time, if you have that much, you will relax yourself by buying a business class ka ticket.
Makes sense.
So money buys you freedom. And then you said, hire the people who are better than you. I do the same. I hire people older than me, better in the field they are. So like stock market. People told me कि 19 साल का, the guy told me that 19 साल का बच्चा क्या stock market सिखाएगा, क्या finance सिखाएगा. And I had already hired an ITN, and after 3 to 4 months there was a coincidence that the same guy wanted to invest in my startup. But we were not raising funds at time. So it's all about hiring good people. Money gets you that.
Makes sense, man. Makes sense.
So yeah.
So I'm sure people watching you from all age groups can take away a lot of things, and especially I hate the fact that most Indians think it's a struggle to make money. In fact, it's not. You just have to understand how money operates, in whose hand it operates, and where can you place yourself, at which end point can you place yourself to get that money into your pocket. Right? But at the end of it, if you just want money to spend, then it is hard. But if you want money to make more money, then it is easy. And I think Warren Buffett says it, right? There's no credibility that money can have that anybody else can have. If you have money, that itself has so much credibility, and that's how you make money.
So even one of my friend told me this. You lose your job. Everything you lose. But you have 10 crores in your bank account. No one will question you, bro, क्या कर रहा है तू? Just tell them ना 10 करोड़ अकाउंट पे रखे हैं जो आपको बनाने में कुछ सालों लग जाएंगे, वो मेरे बैंक अकाउंट में अभी रखे हैं. So even if I take retirement, it's okay. You put it in a retirement fund by there are banks offering 1% every month. That's known as retirement fund. So 10 crores डाल दो, you are getting 10 lakh rupees every month doing nothing. Compounding.
Yeah, I swear, man. And I think as people understand the money markets, understand how people's psychology operates behind money, it's actually very easy on that note. And I'm so happy that you at 19 are actually not just changing your life or the way you are to your parents, but changing a whole bunch of people through your institute. And I'm sure, Shashwat, this is just the beginning of something very massive that is to come. And one last question before I let you go. What is your ultimate dream, Shashwat? Like, where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years down the lane? What's the dream?
So now at a point, I have come across things like if I want to buy anything, I can go and randomly just purchase, but not a very big. So now I want to scale it up. Now coming to courses, it's okay. It was my hobby to teach people, and it started as a business. But I think it's not going to go for like 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. I'm not a teacher, right? It was just a hobby that started like, okay, I can guide people. I want to help people. I told you, Amrev was started to help people who are struggling. Now coming to a point, we are funding startups. So I'm an angel investor myself. I'm making money and then I'm investing on people, on their startups. The next project we took was a brokerage firm. Upstock, Zerodha, Fires, you know, a lot of brokerage firm, right? The where you can trade your place orders. I see people struggling a lot putting the orders. I see a lot of loopholes that are there. I want to solve that. Now, if I go to a big CEO of like Upstocks and I say like do this, why listen to me?
True. I mean,
So that ultimate option is have your own broker. So there are more than 300 brokers in the market as of now, and you hardly know 20 top notch who are famous. We are trying to bring a revolution. Again, it's a profitable business also. You get brokerage. And coming to a background of Instagram pages, we have the referral links. We share a lot of. So acquisition cost will be zero. My acquisition cost comes to zero. I just have the platform fees, the license fees. Marketing is zero, right?
nice.
In the initial stages.
True.
So that's what the major goal is right now. By December of 2022, we are gonna have the beta version launched, so people can start paper trade, putting the orders, selling, and giving us the reviews how it is. And hopefully before Amrev turns 2, the parent company, we'll have it registered with SEBI, NSE, BSE. The licensing cost is a lot. So after that is done, and we have a broker in market.
Super, man. And I'm sure.
And yeah, so that's sorry to stop, but that's how I have planned. And then it becomes a valuation game. So I'm not into a valuation bubble as of now, that raising funds, diluting equity. I wanted to get like bootstrap.
Nice. Nice.
जितना खुद से होता है आप उतना करो. एक ऐसे स्टेज पे आप आ जाते हो कि हाँ आपको पता है स्केल अप हो जाएगा, थोड़े से पैसे की जरूरत है. Then use your funds, not to build the product, use the funding.
Man, Shashwat, when I sit back and listen to you, I always tell, I was using your example recently in class. I was saying, I met a guy called Shashwat who did a session to me. So if you were, and it was in Mumbai, right? So if you were 19 in Bangalore, you'd be my student. Because I coach people between 18 to 21 in communication, public speaking, and all of these things. And I know for a fact when I see somebody real and they have that passion in you, you can really identify it. And I see that in you, and I'm so happy that you started off so early. You're able to change people's perspectives. You're able to challenge the very fact that a 19-year-old can do all of these things and still be good at it. I'm super happy to have known you, Shashwat, and I'm looking forward for your next few years of a journey, and I wish to be a part of it. Thank you so much for coming on the Lalith Dhanush Show and sharing your journey to the rest of the world.
Thank you so much for inviting me, first of all. And let's go, let's do it together, guys.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, if you're watching it and you're getting at least 1% of motivation also, don't stop. Go and start today. Just start right now itself. Because once you start and you have certain things to do, you just go on digging it.
Makes
But
sense.
if you just don't start, nothing is going to happen.
Makes sense.
I've even seen people aged in 25 years don't do nothing. They burn their parents' money, and I really feel bad that उनके parents का पैसा अगर मेरे पास आ जाता तो मैं क्या क्या कर लेता. Like I am talking about the crores, like the very rich people. So yeah, just don't stop. Just start the things right now itself. It's not late. Any day is not late. Yeah, that's what I've realized talking to you also. Yeah, thank you so much for inviting once again.
Cheers, buddy.
Yeah.